Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about my favorite character in Reverse 1999. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to finally be able to talk about Six, a new character that is coming at the end of the month. I think it is a perfect time to have a look at his kit and have a deeper understanding of the character. So if you are still having trouble deciding should you pull 6 or how many copy of him you should pull, you will find your answer within this video. To start off, 6 has insane access to various type of buff and debuffs, making him a very unique character who can adapt to many situations and a staple for raids. He is one of the rare characters capable of increasing the team's incantation start. On top of that, while 6 is primarily a buffer debuffer, his damage output is actually quite scary, and he can compete with pure damage dealer. Normally when we have a jack of all trade character, we know that they usually are master of none. However, it is not the case here. 6 is jack of all trade, master of all. Now let's have a deeper look at his kit and see why 6 is considered one of the must-pull character after Tooth Fairy. First of all, 6 is a 6-star intellect unit that deal mental damage. And when you look at the tier list, he is rated as S tier across the board. From the tier list, we can see that he is a fantastic character that you don't want to miss. When we look at his tags, we can see he can purify debuff from your team while providing debuff and support. I don't think that justifies his true capability. If you really want to make a list of all the things that 6 can do, here is the more correct tags for him. 6 is a DPS, a buffer, a debuffer, a purifier, a healer, a counter, and plus cards. That alone, I don't know how to say, there's too many that 6 can do. As you can see, he's like a walking Swiss Army knife, very useful in any situations. That is why 6 and Tooth Fairy are two staples in most meta teams. Now let us move on to his ultimate skill. His ultimate skill is a single target attack that deals 700% mental damage. When using his ultimate skill, while 6 has 6 or more Eureka, he will then spend 6 Eureka to deal 75% increased mental damage to the target for every debuff they have on them, up to 4 times. So if you do the calculations, you'll be a grand total of 1000% mental damage. That's the highest percentage so far in the game, and it only gets better. Next, we'll move on to his incantations. His first incantation is a mass attack that deals 120%, 175%, 305% mental damage to 2 enemies, and apply 2 random collection of debuffs on the targets for 2 rounds. What is collection of debuff, you might ask? Well, collection of debuffs consists of 6 different debuffs, and they are critical defense minus 30%, reality defense minus 20%, mental defense minus 20%, as well as blind, misaimed, and fracture 1. So blind is damage bonus minus 30% when attacking one target. Misaim is damage minus 30% when attacking multiple targets. And fracture 1 is when attacked, the enemy takes additional Genesis damage. And the best part about this skill is that it will prioritize effects not yet applied. This skill also lets 6 gain 1 to 3 Eureka when at 4 Eureka or less. Let's move on to his second incantation. His second incantation is a one target buff, which purifies 2 random debuffs from the target and grant 2 random collection of buffs for 2 rounds. And collection of buffs are as follows: penetration rate plus 20%, incantation might plus 15%, mental defense plus 15%, reality defense plus 50%, as well as Vitalize 1 and Ricochet 1. Vitalize 1 is you heal a little bit every single round. And so I think that's Cure 1. Yeah, I think that's it. And then the Ricochet 1 is when attacks, reflects Genesis damage back. So it's kind of like a counter, right? Like the one Bloom Party has. If 6 is at 5 or more Eureka, spend 5 Eureka to grant the target Incantation Empowerment 1 for 2 rounds. Incantation Empowerment is plus 1 star to random cards at the beginning of each turn. As we can see, 6 is an amazing debuffers that can also deal scary damage. If you think that is it, you will be surprised to know that 6 will be even better with his insights. So now let us take a look at his inheritance. His Insight 1 increases max Eureka by 1, and at the end of each round, if any one ally has 4 or more buffs, he also grants Eureka plus 1. When attacking a target with a debuff, he will deal 16% more damage. His Insight 2 just very basic, it's just a 8% damage increase. His Insight 3 applies 2 random collection of debuffs to all enemy for 2 rounds whenever you use his ultimate. The debuff is applied before the damage. Also at the start of the round, applies 1 random collection of buff effects to all allies for 2 rounds. After looking at his insights, we know that he can buff your team while just standing there, assuming you have his Insight 3. This is one of the top reasons why 6 is one of the staple in many meta teams. So if you decide to pull 6, make sure you get to his Insight 3 as soon as possible. Next, we'll move on to his portrait. Thankfully, unlike 37, 6 portraits aren't needed as much. His most notable portrait will be his Portrait 2, which increased the amount of Eureka gained by 1. But the other portraits are more of what you would expect, which is just percentage increase. However, Portrait 3 does let you purify more random debuffs, but it's hardly that important in the grand theme of things, and might just be overkill for a lot of instances. 6 is not only a very versatile character in his kit, but also very versatile in his portrait as well. Since he's great at P0, while you have his P5, his ultimate will have a grand total of 1450% damage multiplier, the strongest in the game. Therefore, he is a perfect character for both free-to-play player as well as whales. However, he is fine at P0. You don't really need to pull his portrait. If you decide to pull for his portrait, the recommended portrait for 6 is either Portrait 2 or Portrait 5. Lastly, let us look at his side tube choices. His best side tube will be Balanced Please, but for those who have a knight, you probably want to give him this side tube. So the next best option is Luxurious Leisure. Of course, Brave New World is also another great choice for 6. In conclusion, 6 access to an insane amount of debuff and buffs make him a very unique character who can consistently improve team's damage and survivability in all situations. Once you understand his gameplay and reach his Insight 3, he is really not hard to use, as the effects will naturally come along as you use his skills, and Eureka can easily be gained by having allies that can also grant buffs. 6 is also one of the rare characters that can increase the team's incantation star. This is extremely useful. The best thing about 6 is he can support your team while being AFK, so you can let your DPS taking most of the actions. I should also mention that 6 is one of the best supports for an upcoming carry named Zhou Niangzi, which is the strongest character in the game, so it is worth it to pull 6 to prepare for the best meta team in the future patch. Although 6 is strong and easy to use at Insight 3, you might find yourself struggling a bit while learning his kit and using him before Insight 3, so keep that in mind. With that, it brings us to the end of the video. I hope you found this video useful and enjoyable. For those who are polling for 6, I wish you the best of luck. If you liked the video, please don't forget to click like and subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.